Hello, everybody. It's me, TheT-SaneOtaku here, and we're back again for Stargate Hype. So, I'm finally having the free time today, and mostly just the time to be able to go and get everything done. So, we're here to go and talk about Stargate and all the clans and stuff that's been supported in the last couple weeks, or week and a half-ish, whatever. So I'm going to try to go and fit all three into this one video, so I'm going to kind of talk a little fast. But it's the goal. So we're gonna go and break this into the three like always, and we're gonna go from just numbers on the thing because I get this off the wiki and it's easy like that. So first off is bidding deleter Giva. That thing is it finally got placed. It's the common crit for deleters. It's good to get reprinted. Next up we have another common. This one's for Star-Vaders. This one is Fierce Strike Star-Vader Dubnium. He's got two skills. I saw half the people saying that this card is godly, the other half saying that it's pretty meh. Its ability is Auto Rearguard School Soul Blast 1. Retire this unit. At the end of your turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and locks it. Pretty good, pretty good. His second ability, GB2, Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks, if you have vanguard with cannons card in, pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand, place it on rearguard circle as a locked card. If a card was not put, draw a card, gain 10k. So this is kind of, this GB2 is kind of where these people are splitting about it. The first thing is it's on attack you counterblast 1, and it's you choose. Your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand and may put it on a rearguard circle as a locked card, right? So they can choose not to put a card down, and if they don't, then this card gains 10k and you draw one, which in the grand scheme of things might not sound that good. So it's kind of like it's not a perm lock one. It's also GB2, so that means that if you don't have that flipping stride on first stride, then you won't have that. But I mean, nowadays everyone has that. The other thing that people don't like about this is his end of turn Soul Blast 1, and you have to retire himself. Soul, you have a lot of unnecessary soul due to your zincs and not having to Soul Blast everything at the end of turn. But your strides do use soul. And the new grade 3 that we're going to be talking about later still uses the soul. So people are very hesitant to run this card. I think that this card's still good. But the grade 2 lineup's a little, a bit cramped. If you're the budget player that doesn't have the all the money for everything, then I would say you want to run this card instead of maybe some strange dragons, maybe some colony makers. I don't know. You just have to find room. Next card in the set is for deleters. It is Cheek or Check. It looks like Cheek the deleter though. Cheek deleter Eringe. Looks like cringe, but it's E. Eringe. And his abilities are Auto Rearguard Circle when he attacks. If you have a vanguard with cray in its card name, 2k. Simple, nice. When this unit is retired, do the effective cost with you when you have a card with the leader in its card name. You may put him into the soul. I mean, it's not bad. It's a 9k attacker. It's not hitting magic numbers like I would have hoped. I was really hoping that this card was going to be, if you have a vanguard with gray, you get +3, so it would replace the old one, the old grade 1 10k. And then it's got a nice, you do something with it when you retire it. Now, the soul isn't something that we care to build up, but it's not like it's unwanted due to the new card that we're going to be showing up in a little bit. Next up is the really good G-Guardian in my opinion. Now, Cosmo, the one and only, finally puts up to G-Guardian status. And its skill is Counterblast 1. When it's placed, pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards in the back row, locks it. And if a card was locked, this unit gains 5k. So this one, in my opinion, is much better than Locus Karina because of the fact that you don't have to lock your own dudes, which means if you're in chaos, you don't have to go and hurt yourself to go and get some shield out of it. it also it also gets 5k to the shield value, which is really nice because your only other 5k to the shield value people are Maxwell, and Maxwell's lock one of your own guys. Now the only thing I don't like about this card is counterblast 1, but it's something that Bushiro does, and I kind of understand why. Is you have to go and make sure that Link Joker they have to make it to where you don't get like certain amounts of guard, if that makes sense. Like you're never going to get a recycling PG, you're never going to get like certain things because of the fact that if Link Joker does what they're supposed to do, you might only have one vanguard swing. Like you're sitting there just like, you know, you got the triangle lock, you got no back row attackers, your best chance is to swing with your vanguard, that's it. And that might be your entire turn. So they don't want to give them something where it's just like slap this down every turn. It's like, oh no, you can't do anything. So, but I still think it's very good. It's probably going to replace Karina. That's about it. If you replace Karina, then you can bring down your G Guardians to 4, and it opens up some room for some more strides. That's mostly it. Yep, so next up is my neck of the woods. We have more deleter support, and in this one, a new grade 3. Huff Deleter Greiger. I really like the name. Very like it when it's got that grr, or that, like, you know, that good feeling in a name. His abilities are a little weird, but I think that they're not bad. Soul Blast 2 with Deleter in his card name, yet again, helps with this big soul that we don't use. When this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, you gain 5k, a very costly 5k, but if you're on the Vanguard circle, delete all your opponent's Vanguards. It helps because it helps with the given, because if you don't want to blow more cards out of hand to supplement for your given, right, when you go into given, you can use this. So you place them down, you Soul Blast 2, and you delete, and then you use given and your stand triggers to just power. Now, only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it's, you know, on Rearguard Circle, it's just 16k. You know, meh. Soul Blast 2, heavy cost as it is. Now, any way you look at it, you still want, excuse me, you still want to have Gryand on your Vanguard Circle, no matter what happens. But this is a good alternative. I believe it does take out Grayon in your deck, because of the fact that his second ability is also pretty good, and it's when this unit is retired due to the effective cost of your card with leader's card, the number of cards in your hand is 3 or less, you draw a card. So it mostly just helps you supplement for the turns where you try to blow everything and you kind of just fail. So I kind of like it how they're trying to make deleters that, you know, you can fall back and it's okay to fall back, especially with that stride we talked about last time, where it's, oh, if you have like 1 or less cards in hand, stride for free. So I definitely enjoy it, especially how deleters are looking super good. The next card we got is the new Star-Vader Chaos Breaker Close. We talked about this a little bit on last time, where it was close but no cigar, and not really to my surprise, like I was assuming and pretty sure a lot of people were, it meets up with the criteria. Its ability is, when it's placed on Vanguard Circle or when your G unit with Star-Vader its original card name strides, you may pay the cost, which is choose a card from your hand with Star-Vader and discard it. If you do, Soul Charge 1 and your opponent locks 1. Now, the good thing about this is that you choose, I believe Crisis, your opponent chooses a card that they want to lock. And then you Soul Charge 1, which is not really that necessary, unless you run all the new grade 2s and stuff like that in the deck that really Soul Blast a lot. And then, you know, choose a card from your hand and discarding it. Chaos, like, one of Chaos's best, like, engines to do is to gain advantage is by having an overly abundant hand. And so, no matter if like your opponent can unlock in this meta, you know, how chaos keeps on pumping forward even though everything is getting resist and everything is trying to counter it, is the fact that it's able to still keep up the hand size to guard. Now, using this card to do that, it's not going to help because you're going to be pitching cards from your hand to stride, etc., etc. And then you're soul charging, so you're going to be deck thinning faster than you were before. So you're probably not going to want this on the Vanguard Circle. Now you're still going to run this over the old Chaos Breaker because of the fact that it's got this second skill, which is like, this thing's dumb. It's when it's discarded from your hand, if you have a card with Chaos in its card name as a heart, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand and puts it on the rearguard circle as a locked card. So if you go and pitch this for, I'm pretty sure there's some cards in the deck that make you pitch, like aside from this on stride. I believe Deluge makes you ditch one. And then you have just like, if you pitch this for stride, like you can sit there and like, oh yeah, like let's say you're paying the cost for stride, you pitch 2 of these, so you overpay, you soul blast 2, and your opponent has to choose 2 and puts them under rearguard circle as a locked card. So, let's see, like to my knowledge, it doesn't say that I get to choose where they go, so it looks like your opponent gets to choose where they go and put it on the rearguard circle, but it's still cards from hand, and it doesn't say open, so if they have a full board, they have to place it over something. So this card's like really good as backup, definitely good as backup. Now, as a main grade 3, not really. You could still operate with it on your Vanguard Circle, which is nice because the old Chaos Breaker you can't really. So that's good at least. So the next thing up in here is D Police. It's just the way that the cookie cuts. Grand Rope, single rare. He finally got put in. He's the stride fodder. He's been, you know, promoted and everything else. It's good to see him finally going and getting in again. So everything fine and dandy. Next card is Dimensional Robo Mechanic Kade. This is the new effect heal that we've gotten. It's, you know, pretty generic. It's the buying 2 of them. You countercharge 1 or soul charge 1 when you pay for G Guardian. I'm glad it's because it's got D-Robo in the name. And then the second thing is it's waifu, so D-Robos have Mecha Waifu and Real Waifu. Just what I want, because Gundams are never enough. You need both to make a real thing. Anyway, that one's pretty quick. So the next one to go into is really, it kind of burnt me out of like really liking this set for a little bit, at least for a couple of days. It is Dimensional Rowboat Bravest. And he is on placement on the rearguard circle. Choose one of your vanguards. It gets on attack, counterblast 1, draw a card. Oh god. Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. You probably heard that. That's probably from the wiki. But yeah, like 1 of maybe spicy. That's about it. Everything else about it is just meh. Like, you want to keep 2 counterblasts open for your turns when you want to go into Die Hawk and Die Earth. If, you know, you're running Die Nexus, it's even worse because our only form of countercharge, to my knowledge, at this time, is the heal. So I don't think that you want to run this card if it's all it's going to do is neg you a couple cards. It's just me, though. I kind of would have wanted a Die Bazooka, but for Die Nexus, but I guess that's asking too much. And then we have the card that made me push this further and further along, and it is Bravest Peak X Gallop. I was very excited for this card, as many as other people were, and whoa. I didn't think about, you know, when you're reading the comments, you're reading these like, give it drive +5 and give it crit +3, you know. I didn't think about doing what this card does, and I actually really like it. It's burst, which, you know, a lot of Cosmic Hero cards need burst on the Vanguard as an original on text kind of thing. it helps. And then it's also got counterblast 1, choose face to card in your G zone, turn it face up. When this unit attacks, if this unit's power is 40,000 or greater, pay the cost if you do, drive +1. At the end of battle, if this unit's power is 80,000 or greater, stand it. It gets drive -4. This is going to help those people that did not pick up their X Gallops before. Sorry, people that bought those, because this kind of just got power creeped. Kind of, not really though. So, of course, the biggest thing about this is it literally stands if it's 80k or greater after, you get your quad drive. Getting quad drive is never easier, especially in Gallop. In Gallop, it's literally quad drive. It's not the, you gotta creep it a little bit. Even X Gallop, you gotta creep it a little bit to get to the, no wait, no, it's 35k. My bad. You don't have to creep it then. But being able to stand when you have 4 checks to go and maybe get a crit or something for some extra value, that really helps out a lot, quite a bit. Then it's got a GB3. When this unit, this unit gains power plus 10k for each face-up card in your G zone. Now this thing is really nice because it means you can get to 80k in Gallop without having to use Grand Scout. The second reason why this card is overly amazing that this part is it means that you can now put this in any of your D-Robo builds. Dynexus preferably, of course, but you could go and run this as a 1 or 2 of. I think that it's a 1 of because the G-Zone's a little tight, but you can run this card, and when you go and have 2, 3, 4 couple strides face up, you go into this, and then you have an automatic restanding vanguard. And what's even nicer about it is that Laurel, you can activate Laurel to stand. You can what is it? When you stand this card with Laurel, basically, you get you keep all your drive checks, so you can stand it with quad drive still, and then you attack again. And it retains the power, of course. You don't get to stand it again because it's once a turn, but it's still really good. And no matter how you cut it, it's a good card. And then now we go on to the excessive amount of Nova Grappler support. I'm going to try to make this fast because Blau's kind of got a little cuckarinoed. But let's go and get this quick. So we have a new forerunner, counterblast 1, shove to the soul, vanguard with Blau, reveal 4, look at the top, from the top of the deck, put a grade 1 or greater card with Blau and card name from your hand, and then you shuffle your deck. I think that this is a really good starter for those that weren't able to pick up the oldie but goodie. But the oldie but goodie, I think one is still better because it's on attack. You look at the top couple, you grab 1 to hand, and it doesn't go into soul. Now, I like this one better in the current matchups because of the fact that we are in such a retire and lock meta. You want to probably counterblast 1, shove it into soul as fast as possible, just to go and make sure you can look at the top, get 1 into hand, shuffle the deck, and then you just don't. So now you have no problems. But yeah, that's basically the only reason why you run it. But aside from that, it's still pretty good. And then we have the new Nova Grappler starter. It is Victed. Counterblast 1, shove to the soul. When your unit is stood, this does not have to be this unit. You may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, choose one of your units, give it 2k, and if you do not have any face-up cards in your damage zone, countercharge 1. Now, this card's really weird. I think that I might try to run it in my new early rush build. I'm going to try to see if I can make columns and stuff when I hit grade 3, so I can like kind of try to do a deleter grade 3 turn. That's the plan. I'm not sure how successful it will be, but I mean, aside from this, it's not that good because you have to have no face-up damage to countercharge 1, and you get to draw a card and give something 2k, which is nice, but it doesn't stand anything else, so it kind of locks yourself in that position where it doesn't give you any more stands, unlike Kabutron, which does. Or if you want to run Petite Ace to get more rush hits off, then yeah, then there's that too. So it basically just doesn't help any of the builds so far, but it might help out the build that I want to try, so we'll go and see how it goes. Next up, we have another Blau. It's Reamer Blau Kete. It is when it's placed on rearguard circle, vanguard with Blau, and the number of cards in your damage zone more than or equal to the number of your opponent's damage zone. Counter charge 1, solo charge 1. So this is the first card that we've seen with this kind of thing. That's Blau's new kick. Their new thing is we have to have more damage than you. So it's kind of like an angel feather approach. The only thing I don't like about it is that it didn't solve the problem that I kind of didn't like about Blau's before, is that their signature mojo is you have to have limit break and you have to have ultimate break. I really wanted Blau's to be just Blau name, nothing else. Get rid of the limit break, get rid of the ultimate break, because that's really, like, if you can operate at 3 damage or 2 damage, then that's perfect. That's what they're trying to do with this, where you can go and be at 2 damage, and you can just pump yourself to a ton of damage, and then at the end of the turn, all the damage gets healed. I feel like that's going to make you deck out really fast, and it's going to make you, you know, just have some problems, because some of your combo pieces are going to go there, but we'll have to see. And it's also got another ability, Auto Rearguard Circle GB1, put this unit in your soul. If you're fighting with Blau, when it hits, you draw a card. So you get to draw some stuff. Standard in the Nova Grapplers nowadays, so nothing too exciting, but it's still a card that Blau's could use, so it's good to see. It's good to see. Next up, Vesta Blau Kingle? Sure. Continuous, during your turn, if the number of cards in your damage zone are more than or equal to the number in your opponent's damage zone, gains 2k. So it's a 9k attacker or a booster that can help you get some magic numbers off. If you have a 7k behind you, making you 16, that'd be kind of nice. Or you could have 2 9ks, make yourself 18, and then use a draw trigger to make yourself 21. Like just popping his soul. Oh wait, Nova Grapplers don't have one of those. Thanks, Bushi. But it's all that matters. Its other ability is pretty good too, though. But act rearguard circle once a turn. GB1 +1. Reveal the top card of your deck. Put in your jam zone face down. If you put a card with Blau in its card name, this unit gains 5k until end turn. Choose one of your damage and heal it. 2 reasons why I don't like this. 1, you have to put it face down, so you technically take a damage, so you go from 3 to 4, but you only have 2 face down damage. You gain 5k, so you can go from 9k to 14k, which is nice, and then yet again the 7k to make you 21. And then at the end of the turn, choose one card from your damage zone, heal it. The problem, because of the way that these are worded, you cannot run clay doll mechanics in the deck anymore. Because of the fact that if you put a card with Blau in its card name, this unit gains 5k, and at the end of turn, choose one damage and heal it. If what I've read is correct, to heal a damage at the end of turn is reliant on you having the card put in, have Blau. So if you have clay doll that gets put in there, it's not healing, you don't gain 5k, and you just counterblasted 1. So that's why I think Blaus are kind of getting screwed, but who knows, the new Stride could pull them out. We got a new grade 2, this one's also, you know, meh, but I think that this one's a little bit less meh. A little bit less. I think this one's pretty good, but it literally got power creeped in the same set, which makes me very upset. Counterblast 1, if you have a vanguard with Blau, this unit gains 4k. Then, this unit gains 4k again for each face-up grade 4 with Blau and its card name on your vanguard circle or G-zone. So this thing is supposed to scale, which is nice. Blaus don't really have kind of like a scaling thing like normal Nova decks. For example, you know, Victor and I believe Razors had a nice stack mechanic with Perfect. So now that they do, they can make a 8 + 4. I think that's 12 or 13k. I don't remember. Doing math is quick, not good. But getting the 4k for each one, it really helps. You can still run stands, and then maybe, probably not though. You probably still want to stick to the 16 crit. But yeah, it scales. It's really nice. Blau's needed something that would help them scale. But this is the card that I'm talking about when it means it got power creeped in the same exact set. Rush. Oh, I forgot to say its name. Its name is Magic Performer. Another nice waifu. Reminds me of Top Spinner, I believe her name was, from GBT10. It's got Rush, Auto, Rearguard Circle once a turn. When this unit stands with the effect of one of your cards, this unit gains 5k for each face-up card in your G zone. It gains 5k. It's 9k. And, you know, it's Rush. No counterblast. So it's like, you know, the only difference about the other card in this one is that you lose 2k, and then you lose 1k for every card in the G zone, but then you also can get the +4 because it counts your vanguard. So it's up and down. I don't know. This card's really good though in Victor because it now literally can go and scale with your G zone. So like early-ish, not very good, but once you get to that second or third stride, it's really effective with getting, you know, +10, +15, maybe even +20k. Now, to balance it out, it's once a turn, so you don't actually have to activate its Rush right off of its first stand. I believe you can choose to not activate it and wait till you go and get farther on, so you can Rush activate once it's like, you know, first stride, you flipped up a few cards with your favorite champ and do it that way. So that's also a possibility. Next up is another Blau. We have Barde Blau Kono, or Canon, whatever. It's the same ability like the grade 1. Gain 2k if you have more than or equal to damage, and again the same effect that the grade 1 had. Counterless 1, gain 5k and you deal a damage face down. You get 5k if it's Blau, and you heal it if it's Blau at the end of turn. So it's kind of, you know, that scheme. They're doing what they want to do. I haven't played test them yet because of the fact that I'm not very hyped up for them, but the moment that they come out, I'll have enough cards and stuff like that ready to go and play test with them, and I'll see if it's worth your time. Now we have some more Victor support. Now this stuff's really good. This card I found is like, I didn't think that this card was pretty good at first, and then I thought about it and I'm like, ooh. It's got Act, Rearguard Circle once a turn, GB1, rest this unit, choose 5 of your rearguards until end turn they gain continuous resist. So I was like, 5 units, so it's like, why give him self resist? Because, you know, he rests himself. Well, it's because Rush activates. You just rest it and then it stands. It's kind of like why people run Petite Ace. So that's a thing. Also, what's nice is it gives all 5 of your rearguards resist, which is the same thing that the DP Perfect Guard did. And so it's really nice because now they can't, you know, Link Joker can't lock us Karina. You know, the only thing that I think that can touch us during our turn is like a defeat flare. So I find that really reassuring that during our turn, our favorite champ turns are not going to get shut down because of this card. So now I can take down favorite champ from a 2 because I'm like, now Griffin's a thing, and I gotta be scary, gotta be spooky about those things. Now you could go and run this, and it solves your problem. You don't have to worry about anything except for defeat flare for Kagero, but even then, it's like it only defeats my back row. My front row's still good, so it's reassuring. And then its second ability is when it stands, you get 4k for each face-up card in your G zone. Oh my god, it's so good. It's grade 1. That could literally be like 20k. So, Bushiroad making good cards. I don't know how Room's gonna go. I haven't been thinking about Nova Grapplers that much just because D-Robos have been my major form of excitement, I should say, for the last little bit, but once the set comes out, I'm definitely going to go and be testing out a lot, so stay tuned for all of them deck profiles coming up in February. And then we have a new Blau Perfect Guard. So, it is, when it's placed on Guardian Circle from hand. Nope. Nope. Just place on Guardian Circle. You may pay the cost if you do. Protect a Blau. And then if there is a Sentinel in your drop zone, choose up to one of your rear guards with Blau. Until end of turn, it gains resist, and this unit cannot be hit. This card is so good because it basically dismals one of the units that you have. And that's can be really nice because it kind of also, it's got two purposes. One, it protects your rear guards, and two, it can funnel your opponent to always hit the vanguard. Now, is that a reverse effect kind of thing? Yeah, because maybe you don't want to have them hit the vanguard. But if you're trying to go for that like limit break 5, or maybe even like a limit break 4 kind of thing, and you don't have any of those like dealing damage cards, you can kind of try to funnel, but it's still good nonetheless. Having a unit gain resist during your opponent's turn is literally all I've wanted, but I guess you're asking for too much. And then down to the last couple cards, we have a new Stride. This thing is meh. It's just meh. You choose 2 of your rear guards, arrest them. If you do, draw a card, soul charge 1 until end of turn this unit gets, counterblast 1 when this unit attacks, pay the cost if you do, choose 1 of your rear guards, stand it, it gains 3k. So, like, the reason why this is so meh is because of the fact that you rest 2, but you only get to stand 1, so that means you have to counterblast more to stand another guy. And then he only gains 3k, it doesn't scale. Another kind of meh. And then the soul charge, I don't understand why. The draw is nice because, you know, we want to draw a lot. His art and his new choose 2 of your rear guards and rest them, I like that idea as like a new archetype, because they've been trying to kill off Razors, Beastides, Ashra Kaiser's not gotten support in years. So I'd like to see that maybe this become a new archetype kind of thing where it's you rest all of your own guys on purpose, the vanguard swings, they all restand, and then it's like things happen and then they kind of go from there. You could say that that's kind of how it already kind of works, or if that's how D-Robo works, maybe for some extent. But I think that it'd be kind of cool if it's like, oh, rest 5 of your rear guards. If you rest 5, this unit stands, you know, and then it's like when this unit stands, stand all your rear guards. So I feel like that'd be like a cool finisher. It's got potential. But until then, this Annihilation Machine Beast Demo Slaughter is pretty. And then another heal trigger. This one is Arago Blau Energize, yeah. It's the effect heal, bind 2, counter charge 1, or soul charge 1. I like the art of it. He's just like, he's got this big battery, he's got the plug, and he's just like giving you that nice big thumbs up. And I can't agree more, because Blaus are looking okay. They need more, so he's given the go sign. But now we're coming down to the biggest part of the entire set, and it's going to be probably the biggest card that people care about. That is the new ZR, Seraph Dragon of Destroy Star. Start! When I first heard this thing's name, I kept on remembering from Leech, the guy that would sit there and he had the 2 guns, and he was, you know, he was cool. Stark was cool. But his ability, I'm going to say this exactly how Different Fight says it, you know, if you care about Different Fight, his video, you know, will be in the description below. But it is, at first, this card was meh. I thought it was meh, and then I started to think about it. And then it's like, in DP, this thing's explosive. In Novas, it's meh. Well, I mean, it's not meh, it's better than meh, but in Novas, Novas get the least amount of, you know, stuff out of this, and then Link Joker, it's just like, wow. So, we'll go from least to greatest. Least, Nova Grapplers get the least amount of, you know, stuff out of this because of the fact that we already have a vanguard that can attack 3 times. It's called Favorite Champ Victor. He uses more counterblast. He uses cards in hand to discard. But the biggest thing is if you fail, you don't lose your G zone, which means you can stride next turn and still do something. Now, that's kind of me just being like, oh, what if? But it's like, eh. Also, in Blau's, this thing doesn't have Blau in its name, so you kind of lose power there. Nah. It's just Innovas in general. It's not that good. Now, if anybody just like out of the woodwork makes some blue Death Army deck, you know, and then they just like Stark. They're just like, this is how they win, is they Death Army you to get you like 4 damage, and then they just like Stark. I'd love to see that. Like some Ashra Kaiser builds come out of the grave. That'd be fun. But yeah. And then you have Link Joker, which I've heard from a lot of people. The biggest thing that's great about this is it gives Link Joker a finisher. Because Link Joker really don't have one. The best one that they have is for Star-Vaders, their best one is Glue Ball, and that's just because you gain power. It's not really because of your other abilities. Like Deluge pushes for damage, but it doesn't increase power. It doesn't increase like much. All it does is you lose cards out of your opponent's hand, so you can lose on Deluge. But this card really pushes you home, saying, I will hit you 3 times. This is what we got. And then Deleters, this is terrible. You need always to have that Deleter name, and you're just losing it. Like, you can't use this with the Stride Fodder. Your on-stride ability doesn't work with this. And then it's like, you know, none of your Deleter cards are going to really work that well. This is, in Deleters, this is your panic button. Like, I got no rear guards, I got nothing to do, nothing to lose. And, for Messiahs, it's okay. Messiahs don't really power up that much, so it's not overly amazing. Yet again, it's like a panic button. Kind of closer to Stargate though, where they want it for the finisher kind of thing, but Messiahs have some nice finishers. And then D-Police walk away like bandits with this thing. D-Robos in Kaiser and in Dynexus, you can probably get some more value out of Commander Laurel and having the new Gallop stride. But this is, you know, this is also scary when you have like your 36k and you attack 3 times. The chances of you having, you know, the ability to beef up your dude even more, like, oh, I'm gonna get to 40k and then I'm gonna get from 40k to 44k and just kind of creep up with power like D-Robos do. Not D-Robos, D-Police, my bad. And then with Dynexus, you can pump up your yourself with some other cards, so it's reassuring. And then you have in Gallop, this card is probably a automatic, has to be run, just because of the fact that you can go from being a 13k base to a 50k and then to a 100k with an ease, absolute ease. It's disgusting. You're a 100k Vanguard and you swing like over, like, how much guard material? That's 90k shield from hand to make it 1 to pass. Because 90k shield make you, yeah, right? Yeah, it'd make you 101k, which is 1 to pass, and you have to do that 3 times. If you're at 5 damage, best of luck to you having at least 2 PGs in hand. And so D-Robos are just running away, smiling, having a great time. I think just because of this card, I could see some Gallops having some tops. Just because, like, you can't really get around it. The only thing you can do is choke him on counterblast, and then it's like, how are you gonna kill me then? You either choke me on counterblast, or you give me counterblast and I either countercharge it away, or you just give it to me and I use what I got. So However you slice it, Stark's really good. And that's gonna do everything for this part of the Stargate Clan Booster. I might do one more just to go and do the final Nova Grappler double rare and like just some of the single rares and stuff like that, but we'll know that all by Wednesday, so I probably won't actually, because it requires editing, and you guys see how long it takes me to edit these guys and how long it takes me to edit the one before. Sorry, I keep on playing music. I keep on trying to look at things on the wiki. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that one. You know, don't forget to leave a comment down below how you think about these. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to look out Different Fight video and his channel in the description below. And also don't forget to look at the TheT-Sane Plays, where we're going to be uploading within the week. Transistor, that's the plan. I haven't started playing it yet, just saying. I've been a little busy. I've been getting into Blender, so that's been fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next time. Bye bye, everybody.